Okay, we just got our worms from FedEx, so we are going to unbox them and see what we got here. This box came a little smashed up, so we're going to have to see how they're doing in there. Okay, so we ordered two different types of worms. These are our super red European Nightcrawlers. Don't let the box sit in direct sunlight. Open the bag immediately and pour half a cup of water on your worms to begin the rehydration process. So they need a half a cup of water. So let's open this bag here. And we'll put in half cup of water. I actually have way too much water here, so I'm gonna have to see how much a half a cup is. That's a half a cup. So I'm going to close them back up so they're out of the light. Set them aside. And open this other box. This other box should be my red wigglers for my compost. The European Nightcrawlers I'm going to put directly into the garden, and then the red wigglers are going to go in my indoor compost bin. Same instructions, open bag immediately, pour half a cup of water on the worms to begin the rehydration process. Okay, that's it. I'm going to let those sit for a while, get rehydrated, and I'll be back. Okay, so I have my worms today, so we're going to go ahead and put them in our bin and give them some food. Now remember, I started my bin with the top is going to be just shredded paper to cut down on the bugs. So I'm actually going to remove that whole first bin, and I have my lower bin here where the worms are going to go. So it's still nice and moist. I'm going to put the food kind of in one corner. Just have some frozen kitchen scraps. They say if you put it in the freezer, it will help with if there's any fruit fly eggs or anything. The freezer will freeze them and kill them so they don't get transferred to your worm bin. So there's some apples in here, some bananas, some shredded lettuce, a little bit of kiwi, a couple blueberries and strawberry ends. I'm not going to put too much food in here because honestly I think I ordered way too few worms. So I don't know how fast they're going to get through that. And the bedding we already made for them should have enough brown material in it that I don't need to add any brown for this first time. On subsequent feedings, I will. Actually, now that I say that, I'm going to add a little bit from this top bin. a little bit of paper scraps there with maybe a little more. That's going to kind of be their feeding corner. And then I don't know where I'm supposed to put the actual worms. I think I'm just going to put them right here. So I did give the worms half a cup of water, but then the instructions said to transfer them to their new home as soon as possible. So it didn't really give me a time frame. Ooh, you see them all moving in there? I think they need some more water. Well, I can feel a little clump in this corner of this bag. I might have to turn this bag inside out to get it out, because I don't want that to be a worm that's getting left. Yeah, see there's a little bit of, yep, there's some worms in here still. They're hanging on, they're in this very corner. Let's see if they'll come out here. There's some more. They're really tiny when you get them, but with a little bit of food, I think they'll plump right up. Food and water. They say that they get really, kind of dehydrated from the trip. So definitely turn your bag inside out and get these little guys that are stuck in the corner here. Okay, I think I got them all. I should have taken this whole piece of paper out, I guess. It said I did not need to spread them out, although now I have kind of like 2 humps. And this looks a little dry. I'm actually going to add a few ice cubes because I don't want to give them too much water at once. So the ice cubes will melt and it'll be moisture, but not too much moisture. So I don't know if you can see this. Let's get this camera down here. But there's definitely worms moving in here. See, there they are. Oh, there's all the worms. And they kind of stick together in a little ball. So we're gonna not stress them out too much. We're gonna just let them settle in. Hopefully they'll get over there to that food and start working on it. We'll check back on them and maybe tomorrow or the day after. Okay, we're gonna add the European Nightcrawlers directly to the garden out here. And I actually had buried a little bit of food prior to this to get them ready because I knew I was gonna get the worms today. So all we're gonna do is kind of just dig a little section here, dump the worms in, and the Nightcrawlers live a little bit deeper than the red wigglers, so they will just go ahead and go down into the soil. Do the same thing here where I make sure I turn my bag all the way inside out to make sure there's not any sticking in the corners. Make sure I have all my worms out of my bag. Looks like I do. And it says we don't need to spread them out. I might spread them just a little bit. Not really spread them, just get them down into this trench to kind of encourage them. You can kind of see a bunch of them are right there. So they will just go down into the soil, hopefully find that food, and that will encourage them to stay in my garden and make some good soil for the garden. Well, probably won't be checking on these guys. I'm just hoping that they'll stay in the garden, and then I'm gonna plant some stuff in here after I get some good soil going. I'm going to cover these guys up a little bit here with the other damp soil. I'm actually going to add a little bit of water on here. It's very hot today. All right, they should be good. I couldn't help myself. I checked on these guys again after I put the nightcrawlers out in the garden, and I just wanted to see what these guys were doing. And they are starting to spread out. So I ordered 250 worms. Honestly, I think I was supposed to order a pound, which is closer to 1,000 worms. So we are just going to have to probably feed them less than I would if I had 1,000, and hopefully they will multiply pretty quickly with all the room they have in here. So the food's over in that corner, and I put the worms here, and they will make their way through the bin. We'll check on them in a few days.